And sometimes people even start waitlisting their child even before they are born.
So should we also start?
Kyun?
Just kidding, we have no such plans. Just forget what I said. भूल जाओ, एकदम भूल जाओ.
Hey guys, welcome back. Today's video is for all those mommies and daddies who have been requesting us to make a video about the education system in Canada. For all of you thinking about moving to Canada must have a vision of getting better opportunities in life, not just for yourself but also for your children, especially when you're going to be uprooting yourself and resettling in a completely new country.
Exactly. So wouldn't you want to know what to expect when you arrive here in Canada in terms of the admission process, the costs involved, etc. Right? So this is exactly the focus of today's video. So my name is Nishant.
And I'm Tanu.
And let's get started.
Canada has a free public schooling system up to the completion of high school. It ranks among the top 10 countries for its education system, along with countries such as US, UK, France, Germany, Switzerland, and Australia.
And Canada's colleges and universities are also viewed as competitive around the world. Several Canadian universities like University of Toronto, McGill University, and University of British Columbia are ranked neck to neck to some of the well-known US and UK universities.
But all schools and colleges are not created equal. Some schools may have large class sizes, while others may have less extracurricular activities compared to other schools. And hence, there is competition during the admission process. And that's why you need to do your research well in advance.
The Canadian education system is broadly divided into three categories: preschool, elementary and secondary education, and then finally the post-secondary education, that is the university or college education. But in this video, we will focus more towards the early years of the child's education, that is preschool, elementary and secondary education, because that is what probably you need more information about.
Let's start with preschool. Most of the new immigrants are nuclear families with young kids, and those young kids need to be taken care of while the parents are busy working their 9 to 5. For children under the age of 2 to about 3 to 5 years of age, there are various childcare options available such as nannies, regulated and unregulated home daycare centers, and full-day private daycare centers, and also part-day childcare programs, which includes nursery and pre-kindergarten for children between the age group of 3 to 5 years of age.
And if your child is of a regular school-going age and their school starts after your office hours and finishes before your shift ends, then also you might need before and after school childcare program for your child. And all of that will cost you because that is not covered by the Canadian government.
The cost of childcare can vary from $200 per month to even $2,000 per month. And we know such a huge difference in expenses makes no sense. But the cost of daycare varies by city, by province. It also depends on your child's age and the type of daycare program that you choose.
A couple of provinces such as Quebec, Prince Edward Island, Newfoundland and Labrador, and Manitoba have provincially set fees, and hence they are much affordable as compared to some of the other provinces. But the bigger cities like Vancouver and Toronto are very expensive in these terms, and they range somewhere between 1,000 to 1,500 Canadian dollars per month. Even the cities in the greater Toronto area like Markham, Mississauga, Oakville, Richmond Hill, Vaughan, they also lie in the similar range. We will leave a link to the report that we referred in the description box below.
In many cases, childcare centers have limited seats, so they might maintain a waiting list. And they might require parents to pay from 50 Canadian dollars to up to 200 Canadian dollars to have their child placed on that waiting list. And sometimes people start waitlisting their child even before they are born.
We know that these costs might be scaring you, and this could mean a huge dent on the paycheck for some of you. So it's really important for you to know about the grants and subsidies that you may be eligible for. So apply for Canada Childcare Benefit and other related subsidies and benefits that your province may offer.
Do your research, evaluate the cost and quality of different childcare centers. You can start your search from your city's or your province's official websites such as Ministry of Education or Childcare Services. Such websites usually have a list of licensed daycare centers in and around your neighborhood. For informal, unlicensed daycare centers, look up that information on your community's bulletin board or talk to other parents. Also consider the location because it should be either close to your home, your child's school, or your work.
Now comes the elementary and secondary education. So elementary education starts at the age of 5 or 6 and generally begins with 1 year of kindergarten followed by 12 grades. So in India we call it class like 11th class or 12th class, but in Canada it is called grades. So once your child has completed all the 12 grades, they will receive their high school diploma.
Now, whenever you have heard that schooling is free in Canada, this is what it refers to. From kindergarten to grade 12, you can expect to pay next to nothing for your child's education. But this doesn't mean that you don't have to be prudent with your saving. Since the next major phase is your post-secondary education, that is not free in Canada. So you might want to save up during your child's schooling years for their higher education so that they don't have to take student loans when they grow up.
Later in the video, or probably if this video would be getting too long, then we might have to create a part 2. But yeah, we will be going to talk about the types of schools, how to find a good school, all the costs involved, general timings and schedules of the schools here in Canada, and how to get your child admitted in a school, etc. So please stay tuned and keep watching.
And for now, let's quickly touch upon post-secondary education, that is college or university education. Post-secondary education can be any diploma, degree or certification that your child might want to do from a college or university after grade 12. The tuition fees here are no joke, and on top of that there are expenses such as rent, books and living expenses. So you might want to save up for your child's post-secondary education.
For students living at home with their parents, the cost for the first year of postgraduate program could be around 10,000 Canadian dollars, which includes the tuition fees, books, living expenses, etc. And it could be almost double for the students who choose to move out or have to move out, because then they'll have to pay for the rent as well.
So as soon as you settle as a PR here, find out if you're eligible to open an RESP account. That is a registered education savings plan. This is a special kind of account that lets you save for your child's education. When you contribute funds into this account for your child's education, the government also adds grant into this account up to a maximum of 7,200 Canadian dollars for each child.
And some families, based on their family income, could be eligible to get up to an additional of $2,000 for their child's education.
The money that you put in the RESP grows tax-free, and when you withdraw the funds for the expenses of your child's post-secondary education, at the time the taxes will be applicable on your child's hand. But since they will most likely be in the lowest tax bracket, they will be paying little to no taxes. So talk to a professional when you're here to learn more about this.
Now with that important information out of the way, let's talk about the types of schools here in Canada. So number 1, public schools. So these are basically publicly funded schools which are free to attend for children. In fact, about 92% of children in Canada attend a public school. And why not? They are free and they are good too. And second, private schools. As the name suggests, these schools are owned by private entities and they require parents to pay a tuition fee. Only about 7% of children in Canada attend private school, and the major reason is cost, which we will discuss later.
Third option is homeschooling. Homeschooling is an option whereby the parent chooses to keep their child at home and educates them independently. Although this is an option, but it's not very popular. Less than 1% of children in Canada are homeschooled. There is a fourth option called religious schools, mostly Catholic, and they exist in both public and private form. Though the quality of education is good in Catholic schools as well, but Catholicism is integrated into the course curriculum. So if you're okay with it, then definitely look into them.
So guys, we have a lot more to talk about and this video will become too long and we don't want to dump all that information on your head all at the same time. So we will make a part 2 of this schooling in Canada video which will have some even more interesting information which I am sure you will like it.
So please subscribe to the channel and don't forget to press the bell icon so that you can get notification for our part 2. And we'll see you in our next video. Till then, take care and stay safe. Oh my god.